Hello, the gang's all here. I would say the Three Musketeers, but we're the Four Musketeers.
Yes.
Call us the Dynamic Quattro or the Cool Quattro. I don't know. Anyway, I'll let you, Heather, Laura, and Abby, I'll let you guys introduce yourself, and then we'll get right into the topic. And hey, Erik, I love you.
I love you, Mama. I love you. He's tipping his hat and he's going like this.
Oh, you know, cool. So Heather, you start.
Oh yeah, I'm Heather.
Yeah.
Hilton Hartford. commongroundhealing.com. I am a psychic medium. I do tarot card readings. I teach tarot classes. I do life-centered therapy, healing past traumas. And I do some medical medium stuff. And I'm a certified spiritual life coach.
Good. The captain said I do terrible teachings. You guys, terrible teachings.
Thanks, Erik.
Probably.
With you.
Yeah,
you guys, we did another coping with the holidays thing where Heather and Abby gave a very detailed background for themselves. So so y'all be sure you check that out. I'll put it in this description box. All right, Laura, you're next.
All right. Hi, everybody. I am Laura, and I'm a psychic intuitive medium. And mainly how I connect with spirits is through automatic writing or just straight channeling. It's just this knowing. And I also do empowerment coaching with spirit. So kind of getting to the root cause of what people are going through and just kind of working as a team to help them work through that. And also a card reader.
What do you mean card reader? Tarot card?
Yeah, tarot and oracle cards as well.
Oh, wow, that's awesome. All right, and we'll let everybody tell y'all get a pen and paper ready in case, so towards the end we're gonna put down their information.
Y'all, I love the Texas accent.
Y'all, my husband is Norwegian, and when we first got married and dating, he saw this commercial about Wolf Brand chili, and he always made me say it. How long has it been since you had a hot steaming bowl of Wolf Brand chili? Well, that's long. That's it. He made me do it. All right. The devil.
All I remember is you can bake, and I helped.
Yeah, hell. That's true. Abby?
Heather, you just dated yourself.
I know. Thank you.
I definitely did, but whatever. Abby, you up?
My name's Abby Dagnes. I'm a psychic medium, intuitive, and I usually just direct channel. I use my cards sometimes. Most of the time, though, it's just like a direct channel. And yeah, so my group is Brightside Medium. You can find me on Facebook.
Say it again. It dropped off a little bit.
Oh, Brightside Medium.
Brightside Medium.
Brightside Medium.
Right. Yep.
Bright. So you can find me on Facebook, and I gotta still fix my website, but you can. I have a website too, Brightside Medium. So.
All right, y'all. I want y'all to be sure you text me or email me. Probably better email me all the contact information and whatever you want me to put in the description box, and also on the as you know, little titles on this actual YouTube. All right, so I hear Erik has a specific topic he would like to discuss. So, Erik, what do you want to do, my lovely son?
Yes, he does. He called this forward to talk about ethics, and the thing is that there really wasn't a topic specifically. He just said, we got to get on, we're going to talk about ethics. It's sort of in a whole other sense. And he says it's not political, but we're talking about sort of the state that we're in and the state that we've been in. So so he's here, he's you know, he's ready to rock and roll. He says he's okay, so he brought somebody forward. He brought forward a young boy. I want to say young man. I want to say he's like, I don't know, young teenager. His name's David.
Well, let me back up and say on our last our very first YouTube us together, you said that there would be things that people who are watching would relate to, like it's their
Yes.
when giving a message, things like that. So you guys pay attention, because there are many things that come out that are specifically for you. Okay, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Now, okay. I think I know who this is. I don't really know, but he's do you guys, I don't remember this. I remember hearing about it, but he's talking about the boy in the bubble. Was his name David?
I think it was. I'm laminating. Hang on. Multitasking.
Okay. I don't know.
That was like back in the 80s or something.
He's showing me 1970, 71, 72, 1971, 72. So it was in the 70s. I was born in 71, so.
I remember that, but I think it was in the 80s. Are you sure, David?
That's him. It's him.
Okay. All right, it's him.
Okay. I don't know I don't know. Maybe somebody can look it up and see and confirm that. But anyway, he's
time anyway.
So David has stepped forward with him, and he's talking about ethics. And so I guess, so what Eric and David are both talking about is they're like, yeah, see, there are ethics classes and there are books, and you can read about it and learn about it, and sometimes jobs make you take a course on it. But this is not in a book. It's almost like there are parenting books too. But you can get some advice from it, but you can't live by the rule, because it's something that you're not necessarily taught through scholastics. You're taught through life. So David, I think this is the boy in the bubble from the 70s. He's talking about, so we choose, when we come into this lifetime, we choose our what our soul contract is, and we are taught, we're here to either teach others or teach ourselves or grow spiritually or have others grow spiritually. Some people are here for the collective, and that can actually be a trauma too, to endure what he endured for the collective. And it was all about, and I think it's even still talked about today. And I don't know a lot about him, but this is something that okay, so David, can you tell me a little bit about why you're here and why we're talking about ethics?
Yeah, come on, David, we need to get to the meat of it.
Okay, yeah. So he's talking about how so all the great changes that happen in life, in any area of life, happen through pain and suffering. And that's the way it's always been. It's been through war, it's been through disagreements, it's been through learning the hard way. And he's talking about disease, dis-ease. We have to experience dis-ease in order to get to the ethics of life.
It's like a cattle prod, the cow move when okay. So it prompts you into, if you're,
yes. And so okay, Eric's saying this, and Eric, please don't, okay, if this was on a trivia test, I would fail it because I don't know. But he's showing me, okay, he's saying Newton's law, and he's showing me a pendulum that's like bang, bang, bang. Is that Newton's law?
Yeah, that's one of them.
Okay, so we're talking about
equal and whatever reaction. Yeah.
Yes, there has to be a reaction for action. There has to be an effect in cause and effect
reaction. For every action,
sometimes it starts really, really like out of control and really heavy, but eventually it stabilizes, and that's where we are right now. And
you talking about the collective?
as a collective right now. We're the pendulum is swinging, and we're not quite in that level yet. But he wants to talk about ethics as far as we're all concerned as a collective, to where we don't always have control over what's happening with individuals and what's happening with ourselves and with anything that's going on, because these are soul contracts, and this is something that's raising us to a different level. This is a part of the healing process. Things are going to shift. Things are going to change. It's going to get worse before it gets better. The pendulum's going to swing super fucking hard in both directions. And it's going to be like one's trying to defeat the other. So it's going to be swing, bang, bang. And then it's all eventually going to even out.
Yeah, I will say that this is true of the collective and for each of us. Like for me, having the childhood I did, when we have hardships, guys, you can choose to like become a victim and like, oh, poor me, which I did for a while. But or you can choose to say, where's the lesson in here that I can be grateful for and so happy I had this, because here's what I gained. Here's how I evolved from it. So we understand.
And that's why David stepped forward.
What about the collective? How can we extrapolate that from the individual being grateful for that teachable moment to the collective doing so? And any of you other guys can jump in too.
I have one of my guides coming in right now, actually. And Eric, by the way, Eric's wearing today, like I'm seeing him in this, like, he's saying it's a rad hat. It's like 80s kind of looking. It's got like the neon like colors in it and stuff, with like the brim is kind of like popped up a little funny.
Okay.
And his like kind of froed out underneath. So I don't know why he's being a goofball like that. Oh crap, I just lost my train of thought. Hold on. So, well, last night actually I was like hearing a lot of E=mc², and I was actually like doing some research for some reason on quantum physics, like more of that. So actually that could be why.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
You know who that is. You know who that is when you hear M= whatever it is. That's Ryan.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay.
I was actually reading last night about Nikola Tesla too. Like I was just really drawn to that late last night at 11:30. So maybe that's why I was thinking about that. But one of my guides is like yelling at me now. He's saying, pay it forward. So kind of like, pay it forward, like you write your name on a dollar bill and then like you pay it forward to somebody else. They write their name on I think it's more like the chain reaction thing about
it's like a chain letter.
Like a chain, no, not necessarily a chain letter, like the chain reaction.
Pendulum.
Positivity.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so E=mc² as in like motion, moving forward. Okay, so if it's moving forward and you move that vibration forward by bringing positive to the next person, Eric's saying that can move the vibration and the transition of energy, and that's what can change,
That's a pendulum, moving that positive. So where it's like this at first, and it gets more, and it's more, and the positive. Okay, so Laura, what do you have to say?
What you said, Elisa, with why we, when we come on our Thursdays, that our roundtable here it resonates with everybody, is because we're all feeling stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And this is why we're bringing this topic up.
Yep.
Go ahead, Abby.
So it was
Laura,
Eric.
you're up next, Laura. Sorry.
First of all, I just want to say thank you.
Abby, are you finished? You want to add anything?
Eric was just showing me waves, like the waves in the ocean.
Oh, okay, got it.
The water.
All right. Sorry, Laura.
That's okay. No, I just wanted to say thank you so much, Elisa, for allowing me to come on. One of the things that I've definitely noticed with my spirit team this year, well, let's say 2020, well, they kept mentioning how the past was echoing itself and how history was repeating itself, and a lot of the past lives that we had. I know that there's no karma, and I know, but there's like
Yes.
almost this form of karma where it's like kind of our lessons, we kind of have to want to repeat them in a sense where we can learn and grow from them.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of like, we're going to just say karma for the sake of the human mind understanding this, but it's almost like this historic karma kind of echoing itself throughout, and it's kind of all come to a head in 2020. Well, it's kind of, they're showing me like a wave and how it's kind of gotten to that point where it's like, well, you can't ignore the wave anymore.
Oh.
But there's just so many, like, we all want to grow. There's no coincidence that this is the age of Aquarius now, where we're having this like collective growth and this transformation to the great coming together. I think it's just very not even a coincidence that 2020 and then we're moving into this great awakening shift in 2021. But there's so many like feelings echoed into 2021 where we have these like fears from this life, but then also other lives, and we have all of this shadow work that just echoes.
What do you mean shadow work?
Shadow work as far as like
we have bleed through from traumas from future lives, from traumas from past life. But what do you mean shadow work?
So shadow work as far as like things from the past lives and then things from this life. So if we have a trauma and we stuff it, you know how it hurts your shoulders, it can give you headaches, it can make you feel physically
energy blocks.
Energy blocks. We can't hold on to that heaviness and those feelings from the past lives and this current lifetime moving into that great coming together by like unraveling it and experiencing it. And we kind of have to with 2020 because it's like we're stuck in the house globally. Everybody is facing their shadow work. Everybody's experiencing it on different levels.
Wow.
And then we're seeing it in the government. We're seeing it in like literally everywhere you look. So it's just a chance to see it, feel it, heal it, and then ultimately you're getting to such a rock bottom that your shell kind of breaks open and you have no other way to go but to see the light. At that point, you're faced with, well, like, who am I? What is this? And you just start to have those thoughts, and that's why you see so many people waking up to it. And
that's
it's just
beautiful. Wow. I mean, that's positive. I mean, it reminds me of an image that I see on Google all the time of this like harsh landscape of mud that's dried, has cracks in it. This one little beautiful flower is growing out of it. So it's almost like that.
Yeah, and recently I actually had COVID. That was why I couldn't come on the last time. And it's really interesting, and something I noticed is I have, as a light worker, and I'm sure a lot of empaths, light workers out there, we have the hardest missions, man. We have the hardest missions. And so my husband and my child, they had COVID and they were asymptomatic. But me, I was so like deep in it. And my guides just said, there's lessons in the mess. There's lessons in the mess. And I realized, and I was actually talking to another medium about this today, but we said I had to literally, you know, when you give like 100% of yourself to other people and you're not like focused on yourself and like working on yourself and healing, filling up your cup, basically you're just kind of running on empty. It's like you just kind of hit this rock bottom where you have to face it.
Oh, guilty, man. Yeah.
And that's where I was with the COVID. And it's something I should have been doing this whole year. But I still somehow managed to get away from a lot of looking at it. But when I had COVID, it just, you know, you hit rock bottom and it grows you like 2 times further than you could do.
So it was a
not
good
being
thing.
at rock.
Probably a good thing for you then.
It was. And it's kind of like when you look at it, you think, oh my gosh, like, oh, you're glad you got COVID. Like there was a lesson in it.
Yeah, of course. You know, I have been having a lot of trouble breathing, and you know, my PSAP
heaviness
sometimes goes down to like 84. I mean, it's bad. I mean, you know that. Okay, whatever. said 93 is pretty much my average. So I'm thinking, well, I'm in my workplace inhaling Palo Santo smoke all the time, but I have a thing. The reason I figured it out is I got an actual respirator with the fireman, and I can't breathe with that thing on.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I just put in a PCR.
He said, Eric says, Mom, you got to remember to take deep breaths, because you don't.
I know, but
you're like, okay, so he's showing me the world, something shiny, something shiny.
No,
you're like,
it's more than that. I wake up so winded, gasping for air, especially when we went to Kerrville, maybe 1,000 feet higher. But anyway, so I don't know if it's COVID or because I don't have any other symptoms. Yeah.
He said it doesn't matter.
Well, but also my father died. Well, he died because my sister accidentally killed him by disimpacting him, doing a fecal impaction when he was human, and so he
punctured his intestine
to death in his retroperitoneal space, which is the most painful.
Punctured his that's what they're showing me. He's telling me punctured his intestine.
Yeah, and he gave her all the inheritance because she decided to like browbeat him into saying, even though I was the one that always took care of them for 40 years.
And you've been through some shit too,
yeah.
You know.
So anyway, but
you became a light worker, all of us do.
But
I'm gonna go pee, but you guys continue. But Eric wants me to trans channel in a few minutes.
Oh, good. You better pee. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, but my father, back to him, had this thing where he had chronic thromboemboli thrown to his lungs, and he got pulmonary hypertension from that. And so that's another possibility that I could have that. So what do you think? I mean, this is really gratuitous. I'm sorry, but I just kind of want to know from meetings that know what the shit they're doing.
This is kind of random, but it's actually Ryan that's coming through right now.
Adragna? Ryan Adragna?
Yeah.
I love him. I miss him.
Oh, I think she froze.
Unfreeze. This is not Frozen Part 3.
Did you hear what I said?
Not a word. No.
I don't really know, like on a medical level, if this can or cannot happen. Heather, the RN, can confirm this. But can you hear me?
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying something that has to do with your anxiety level and an emotional state versus like an actual like medical situation.
I'm not have any emotional. No, Eric, that is not true. I mean, I was
Ryan.
Ryan. Ryan, when you wake up with something, it's not functional, like psychological. It is. It's
Abby, what you're saying is throat chakra. That she's got to slow that down.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's got to slow that down. That's what you're saying, Abby. I totally heard. I heard that when I walked in. I was like, ding, ding, ding. Yeah.
But it's not normal to have a like night before last, 88 PSAT. So.
And your hormones.
What about my hormones? Let's not get personal. I mean,
your hormones are all fucked up, yo. Oh, jacked up.
Okay, so let's get back to it. What can we tell all of you guys who are listening? And please, Eric, David, whoever, Ryan, share specific information with people who really need to hear something, okay? But what can we do to survive and to thrive from what is going on now?
Yo, mama.
Oh, are you going to trans channel? Are you there?
I'm here, mama.
Oh,
You
you're already in her body. Okay.
Yeah. What do you want to know? You know, and don't fucking interrupt like you always do, because
I
just
know.
ask the question and let me talk.
Okay, go. Take the mic.
Dude, I finally found somebody who's going to tell you where the bear shit and the buckwheat. That's what Heather always says. And, you know, I can be me. So
Go.
let me tell you right now, okay? The reason why I had you all come on tonight is because we're talking about waking up with light workers. Y'all need to wake up, okay? All of you out there who have been watching my channel, watching my mother, watching everything from the beginning, now is the time to fucking wake up, all right? Shit or get off the pot. Okay,
Oh my God, I
now is
say
the
that
time.
all the time. So
God damn it, Mom, I'm talking.
I know. I can still put you over my knee, man.
Okay. You're right. You're right. What is it, Mama?
Go ahead. I'm teasing. I love you.
I didn't hear what you said, so you got to tell me.
No, I could put you over my knee still.
Oh, I so wish you could.
For a long
I
time
so wish you still could.
No,
What I wouldn't give to feel that slap on my ass.
I never spanked you.
Dude, you totally did.
I put you in
You spanked me a couple of times. Don't you lie.
Not. It's really weird because I have dreams of like spanking, and
you smacked my ass a couple of times. Although I deserved it, but you did.
Okay, go for it now.
All right.
I've been outed. Oh boy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm against spanking. I will say that.
So I'm telling you right now, I'm so excited that I
wait,
can.
let me say this. I'm against spanking.
Are you trying to interrupt me again, Mama?
I got to say this. I'm against spanking, not because I so feel sorry for the kid, but because it doesn't.
Why are you trying to defend yourself?
No, I want parents to know this. It's not because I, want to protect the kid. It's like, it doesn't do any good because then they focus not on what they did wrong, but on how mean you are. That's it. I believe in logical consequences. Go. I'm done. Hurry up. We don't have all day. Let's go, Eric.
Okay. All right. I'm here. All right. So we're calling all light workers. Mama totally threw me off with the whole the whole memories. I just can't, the memories, and when we're on the other side, we still get those memories. We still feel it. And that's why our traumas can carry over in DNA in our next lifetimes, and why we have to heal past lifetimes, because I still feel that and I love it. And it's just, I hold it so close to my heart. Don't tell my mom. But I still miss that. I would give anything to be yelled at by my mom.
No.
All right, so back on the topic, so we're talking about waking up light workers. Right now this is a huge wake up call, y'all. Huge wake up call. All right, so we have light workers all over the planet. They're all over the world, and they're in these obscure locations. There are people who don't have internet who are light workers, and we're spreading that feeling, and we're opening up the light, and it's coming out and it's spreading. And these people who are aren't, they're just not right. They're not right. So you have to not he's showing me the bird, and he's reminding me of a meme that I saw. Thank you, Eric. Yes. All right, come back to Eric. The meme is about the bird with the right wing and the left wing. They're all the same person. They're all the same bird. We like to be the armchair quarterback, but we have to remember that the person in the armchair, we are mystical, tiny mystical cells of that one mystical being in that armchair. So we don't call the shots from that armchair. We're like a little cell, maybe on the leg, maybe on right above the knee. So when we all come together, that mystical being as one can stand up and walk forward. If we come together and gel as a unit, we
Wow,
can
that's
walk
deep.
forward. So
Oh.
so as we're all these little tiny crystals of this one big unit that's sitting in the armchair calling the shots, we are not the one. We think of yourself as the one who may be in the arm that's keeping the arm from doing one thing. It's keeping the arm from lifting it above its head. Don't do that. Don't be the one that congregates with the others that keeps the arm from lifting above its head. We've got to come together as a unit, and that's why I've got these light workers and these channels coming up and coming together so that we can all learn the ethics on this level that's not taught in books. This is the ethics taught as individual, like shattering a plate. We're all these little shards of this one plate. We can't come together as a whole if we're going in opposite directions. So, okay, he's saying, Kathy, you know that you're supposed to be doing this. You know that you're supposed to be doing this. Please step into it. Your father is supportive of it. Stephanie, you had a group to where you wanted to learn stuff about the other side, and then you kind of dropped it. Get back into it. He's talking about oh God, what's the name? You got to give me the name. Are you fucking kidding me? He's talking about color therapy. You want to get into color therapy, you do that. Oh,
That person will know.
the person will know. Color
Yeah.
therapy and light therapy. Okay, so there's also a Ileana. He's saying Ileana, but I don't know if that may
Ileana. Okay.
Ileana. You are you bring in your culture. Your culture can change views. Bring in your culture. Be proud of it. He's talking to who's this? Julie. Bring in your experience, what you've experienced with the shit that you've been through to help heal others. All of this is part of the pendulum, a part of the flow and the light workers, and that we're supposed to share our stories and heal each other. We've all been through shit. This is not the 60s anymore. We are in fucking deep. Okay? We are in deep, dudes. We have to wake up. We have to make this change. And I know Laura and Abby, I want you guys to take this now, and I'm going to come in to your fields and I'm going to speak to you because you guys have messages for people. Okay. Thank you, Mama. I love you.
Wait,
I love you.
I love you. Hey, one thing I want to say is that real quick, I discovered that, I do a lot of, Eric and I do a lot of energy work to help people healing spiritual illness, which makes people unstuck, empath protection, portal work, all that stuff. But sometimes it's not successful. And I figured out why. 3 reasons. And Eric told me this. 1, you're an empath and you need to have that protection that we can offer. 2, you have a spiritual contract that needs to be revoked, and like 4%,
ooh, like me,
cannot be revoked. Okay, but a lot of them can be revoked. Or 3, and this is the biggest one, I think, because 80% have energy blockages that need to be opened. And energy blockages, when yesterday
I specialize in that.
I opened up my energy blockages with what Erik, the frequency set and all that in the scalar fields. And I woke up the next day with no neck or back pain for I don't know how long.
Lisa, I got to do a session with you because, no,
I'm telling you, it's like opening up the energy blocks. If you don't do, this is very important. If you want to do any Atlantic scalar services, you have to make sure that if you're an empath, you get protected.
Where did the time go?
If you have spiritual contracts, you need to have them revoked if possible. Sometimes not, or you have to. What was the other thing? Oh, open up the energy blocks. The energy blocks are responsible for so much, like physical, mental.
So I'm a little lost. I'm a little lost. Did I channel?
Huh?
I'm a little lost. Did I channel?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did, Heather.
So what do you have to say? Open
the last video. I said to Erik, I watched it and I was like, holy fucking shit, tone it down a little bit. And he's like, no fucking way.
Of course, yeah.
So what I do?
But I'm saying that I think one of the biggest things, because Erik told me, because I have to ask, 70%, 20%, whatever, 80% of people have energy blocks, and they are responsible for some, at least, mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical ailments or issues, including pain. It doesn't take care of everything, but so what do you say about energy blockages? Because here's what I've done with Atlantic Scalar. I said, I want you to get a consult with Erik for $20, okay? And we will credit that against whatever you order, because I want people to be well, God, and I don't want them to order something that's unnecessary. I want to get down to what is their problem. And on
the Life After Life Channeling Erik fundraiser page, we're paying for that.
Well, but I'm realizing that from talking to Erik that a lot of people have energy blocks.
Huge. Because our work is not done. While we're here in the human form, our work is not done.
And I will say that a lot of people who go or are nudged, obviously, to Atlantic Scalar are very special people. Some of them are earth angels. Some of them are part of these big angelic projects like Project Victory Earth, Project Unity, Project Equality. And so it's almost like they're like, we got to get you in gear, man.
I think we got to have Laura and Abby.
Empath protection. You got to get, healing spiritual illness. You got to get rid of your energy blocks. It's almost like I'm a warehouse for fixing people who are supposed to save the world. Special people. Anyway, go ahead.
I'm just
saying, Laura, take off.
When I look at the blocks within people, I see like these crystallized blocks, whereas if you're kind of working at it on your own and you don't really know how you're healing it, you're kind of just chipping at it. But it seems like with the Atlantis scalar, it kind of is like taking a bomb and just like blowing it up and healing inside, and then it just like removing that mass. It kind of, to me, is like a mixture again about like past lives and then traumas and how it blows open these holes and you have all this crud and it crystallizes, and people are like trying to do the best they can, but it's like they need that extra. And that's why, Erik and Ryan were actually showing me in the beginning of this that you definitely chose like a pretty big lesson in this life. You went from medical healing as a doctor, and then of course what happened with Erik, that was really sad, and then like really learning about spirituality, helping other people, you helped people bridge the gap with an analytical mind, but then also the spiritual, giving people facts, but then also kind of becoming comfortable within that healing and within that mediumship world, to then finding that you're actually an energetic healer this whole time, and kind of it's like going from two opposite sides of the spectrum.
I know.
And now it's like right now you're kind of just finding your way with this beautiful new technique, which has been around forever, but you're kind of just finding your way.
Yeah,
And
I remember going into my surgery suite, do minor surgery in my office on a woman, long, beautiful gray hair, very bohemian looking, and I put my hand on her, and she said, "Oh my God, you're a healer." It's like, okay. It's like I was an idiot. So I'm learning that, but now I begged Eric. He sets all the prices for everything. I said, I want to charge the least possible to get rid of people's energy blocks, or it's such a huge obstacle to everything, to their evolution. And so he finally agreed, and it's like, and also if you get a consult with him, guys, it's $20 that gets credited to whatever you order, because you know what, it's not about money. I make like minimum wage on what I do. It's my passion and Eric's to help people, and I'm part of Project Victory Earth, apparently, and that's my job. That's my job. So all right, let's talk more about ethics, because I just took y'all on a big old rabbit hole.
We're to do readings for people. You guys,
Go ahead. Yeah, do it.
Messages for people.
Let's do it.
I know Abby has some things that she wrote down. I have a lot of little collective messages for the community, but I want to hear what Abby has to say, because I know she has some messages.
When you were actually trans channeling Heather, I don't know the actor's name. I'm still trying to get it through what his name was, but it was the Jurassic Park movies. The guy with the white beard, the grandfather. I don't know if he had an M name or something like that, but so like he started coming through to me, and
wow.
I know I never get actors or anybody popular or famous, so it figures it's somebody that I don't. So he was coming through, and he was like actually bringing up the whole like he was bringing up Jurassic Park, and he was like kind of trying to relate it to the situation that we're with now with crisis and involvement, and like about how people try to like the betterment of what they think is like better medicine, better technology, he says, better amusements, he says, and then that can evolve into kind of like chaos, and he says turn into monstrosities, he says. So he was bringing up that movie, and I just wanted to bring that through, because he like made me write it down and then like underline it and put 3 10 arrows around it. So Laura and Heather, maybe you can help me like relate.
It's like the David story before it evens out. It becomes really fucked up before we figure out the lesson.
Yeah. Okay. So I get it. Yeah. That's
like evolution.
Yeah. Like evolution, like you try and recreate, something with society, but then, or just in general, he says, because he's even talking about entertainment, and like it just kind of turns into something that it's not supposed to be, and you don't learn from it until later. So he says that like he's bringing up actually coronavirus, and like just in general what's happening with the world right now and the chaos, and he says tragedy, and I didn't want to talk politics, and I'm not going to let him bring that up.
Oh, please, no. I get too much hate, man.
So he's just but he's just saying that it's the involvement and it's the lessons learned, and I know that's what we've been saying the whole time, but Eric's going, yeah, Jurassic Park, yeah, that's what I'm saying, Jurassic Park. And then he for people like messages specifically, there's a Marissa, and Eric says, fuck yeah, you're a medium. He says, fuck yeah. He says,
wow.
You can hear me. He says, you're talking to me, I can hear you. He goes, we're communicating like that. like in his Texas accent that I can't really.
Oh, you're communicating. Yeah.
You know, so and then there's also a Marsha, and she's I feel like 58, and she has the ability to trans channel, he says, and that there's this thing that she does, I think, with her grandchildren or something, that when she's like reading a book, she actually really becomes the character, but like no, she actually becomes the character.
Whoa.
And it's real. So he wants to let her know that, and he likes her monkey sounds. And there's also another Eric, and he says, you're a lot like me, dude, and it's Eric with a C. He says, you're a lot like me, dude. He says, get off the shit, stop cutting yourself. He says, lay off on your fucking girlfriend and grow the fuck up. I'm sorry, I'm just...
What do you mean lay off the girlfriend?
I don't know. That's just the...
Well, Eric, can you explain? Lay off? Is he being too like oppressive with her, or shifting blame to her, or what?
Yeah, he says he's being angry with himself, but he's like blaming her, like verbally blaming her.
Oh,
So
I got it. Yeah,
verbally
pretty
abusive.
common. Very human. Very human.
Yeah.
Don't worry, Eric. It's very human.
Yeah. So he's like actually kind of scolding him a little bit, like lay off on the fucking girlfriend, dude.
Wow. Laura, what do you got?
So I know you had mentioned in the like middle of this that kind of just wanted people to have some comfort when it comes to just the situation of the world right now, just some like tips, I guess. And this is what Spirit told me. So first of all, just to really enjoy the physical experience, even though it's really bad. They wanted me to bring up like how when I had COVID, I literally could not taste and smell, and how Ryan was actually teasing me. He's like, well, we can't taste and smell here. Like, that's why you guys go there, is you can, you know, physically do all of these things. You can taste, you can smell. He's like, sure, we can manifest it and we can like have fun and kind of imagine stuff, but it will never be like it is there.
No.
So he said, as shitty as it is there right now, really enjoy those small things, because it's like when you lose it, you really realize the beauty and power of it. So being grateful for the really small things, allowing yourself to just flow, understanding that we cannot control this situation especially, but a lot of situations in our life. And if we can change something, just take it day by day and just flow, because all the time Spirit is going to be pushing us in a place where it's like divinely guided. So another thing was, and again, these are lessons I learned with the COVID, some of them, let go and let God is a real thing. So I had gotten to the point with my COVID where I felt like giving up. I was so scared, and I just screamed and cried, and I said, God, I cannot do this anymore. I'm so scared. Time was going so slow. And there was actually a point where Ryan was like, he's a healer, as you guys know. Yes. And this is a soul, this is an experience I had to go through. So he's going back and forth, like, he's like, oh, he's like, I want to heal her, but I can't. This is part of what she has to go through, and it's driving me nuts. And so that's when I just said, let go, let God. And it was like, it went from time going very slow to next thing I know, 4 days have passed, time sped up, and it was Christmas Eve. So just
Merry
know the power.
Christmas. Okay,
Yeah.
So you got really, what kind of symptoms? Do you have fever and smell? I know, but
it was bad. I didn't have a fever or body aches, but I had an extremely sore throat, and I have had what's it called, that throat strep throat. You would think strep throat would be really bad, but this was, I never had a sore throat. It felt like somebody had taken like a chemical gas pump and put it up to my throat.
God.
And I was coughing. It was just scary, but it's really interesting. You know how I said it was, my son and my husband were asymptomatic and I had it bad. So you never know how it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
but it was pretty bad for me. It was like, it was normal, like a normal sickness for the first week. And then all of a sudden it just went like crazy and I got so sick. I have never experienced anything like that.
You know what? I learned from, I think it was Tammy DeMersa, that the universe, like, we talk about karma, and of course there's no karma, but we have a lesson to learn, right? And so imagine this clock, and got a lesson to learn, and we get hit by a feather because we didn't learn it. We get hit by a little tiny ball peen hammer, and then we get hit by because we didn't learn it. We get hit by a bigger hammer. Anyway, eventually we get by a freaking sledgehammer.
Yeah.
That's how the universe operates. It's not karma. It's like, hey, you better fucking learn your lesson because I'm gonna hit you harder and harder.
Yeah, and it was like such a
COVID is done for a lot of people, I think.
It was a blessing in disguise for me. It was really one of those moments where I was like, this effing sucks, but I'm glad it's happening because now I see things so much clearly.
Wow.
And these are just two more really important things, and then I'll just shut up. So grounding yourself. I never truly knew what grounding was. Like, you know, I do it in the sense where I'm like imagining roots coming out the bottom of my feet and, you know, grounding like in a spiritual way. But grounding at its core, what Spirit had told me, I was having a panic attack one day and they said, grounding. And I said, well, how do I ground myself? And they said, stay in the moment. He was like, they said, don't think about the future. Don't think about the past. Where are you right now? Second by second. That is pure grounded in that second. And that really changed things for me, especially in a chaotic time when you are having that panic attack and you're freaked out. You see all this stuff.
I want to add something to that, but when you get to a certain place.
Yeah, you can add.
Oh, okay. There's something called a locational that actually is from Scientology, which whatever, that you can take your child who's having a panic attack or whatever, or yourself, and have them know, like, look at that tree. It's whatever. Look at that mailbox. It's blah, blah, blah. Just bring their attention to things that will put them in the present time. So I think that is really very important. It's called a locational. You just like, all right, this is a blue cup. Wow, look at the blue cup. You know, it gets you out of that, you know, oh, I'm in my past life, bleed through and all that stuff.
That doesn't work with bipolar. Erik says.
Okay.
And that's why, I'm like, yes, but it does. Bringing in the moment, that's a whole nother subject.
Why wouldn't it work for bipolar?
What's that?
Why wouldn't it work for bipolar?
That's a whole nother video we have to do.
Okay.
But when you guys are done, David is stepping forward and he has one more thing to say. So you guys finish up and I'm writing down what he's saying. So
yeah, this is just the very last thing I have to say, and this is so important for people who maybe don't necessarily have mediumship. Like, everybody has the ability, but this is for people who really want to connect with their loved ones and not have to go through a medium, not have to go through a psychic. Meditation, so important.
God.
I know it sounds so blah, but when you really do it, I mean, it's like I've had the most amazing encounters with Spirit. I have gone to my Akashic records. I have seen things that
I
are
don't
just
have time for that.
That's how, but it's so fucking hard.
Takes 5 minutes a day, but there's an
other side. I love it.
I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Soul. It's a
yes, I did.
How he stops and he meditates and he's actually able to go to heaven and connect while he's on this physical plane. That's exactly what it's like. So for people who really like, maybe they don't have the money to get a medium, I mean, meditation, you can have a one-on-one experience that feels so
Yes.
physical with someone you love on the other side.
But it probably helps to get rid of your energy blocks first, maybe. I don't know.
Oh yeah, it would. Yes.
ADHD. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hello.
When I'm doing my healing work, right, I actually use meditation to work on like the different chakras in my body, because to me it like I'll pretend like there's a screen, like a cheese grater kind of like, or like a screen, like a porch screen, like coming through my body, and as it's coming down, like wherever it resists, that's where I know that I need to work on it, and I'll just go down through my whole body till I get to the very base of my feet, and then I just tap it out. Like I picture a rock on the ground or something, and I tap it into a garden.
That's a great technique for energy cleaning too.
Yeah, I go through my whole body.
Yes.
And when I go to bed at night, I go through, because my son, he's very empathic. He's 11, and he gets a lot of high anxiety. And so I go through my whole family, like just in my brain, just a quick scan down, like with the screen. And if you close your eyes, like you don't have to get into deep meditation to do this. Like you can just kind of feel where the resistance is, and you just do it a couple times until all of a sudden there's no more resistance. If I'm having issues with my knees, like I used to play a lot of sports, and if I'm having issues with my knees, like before it even hurts or I can feel it or anything, like I might feel some resistance at my knees, and that's because, so it's just a thought. Sorry.
Yeah, and I think going back to like what Elisa does, some people are in a situation where they can't even get to that point of doing the cheese grater, going into a meditation, or even being mindful. They need somebody to go in energetically and clear that shit out, So that's where Heather comes in, Elisa comes in. People need this kind of work,
We need each other.
Yeah.
You gotta realize that.
Oh, well, I work with the divine team, which is Source, all of God's archangels.
You don't have to
Apollo
you don't have to memorize all of that. You just know it.
All his heavenly bodies, all the benevolent constellations in the universe, all the benevolent interdimensional beings.
Erik's going blah 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 blah. He's like, you just know it.
I know. Shut up, Eric. All right, so
David wants to say he came in. I really hope his name is David.
I think it is.
So because I just get Bubble Boy and David.
Well, it could be David in another life. Who cares? I think it's
It
David.
could be.
Really
Maybe it's not his name. I don't know, but whatever. Maybe it's his father's name. But anyway, he's stepping forward and he's saying, my message here is don't be upset with the people in the positions that they're in, the certain positions that they're in. They're actors in the human world to create change. This is meant for change. What a fucking hard place to be. What a hard place to be, to decide whether I lived or died, to decide whether I was put in a bubble or whether I was, whether they put me in the crib and let me like freaking starve to death from air. What a hard place to be in. Don't be upset with those in these positions, because they are here for a reason, and they are in those positions for a reason. Don't blame the messenger. The messengers come from above.
That's true.
I just looked it up. It's David Vetter.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
It is.
Are you kidding me?
It's David.
That's the Bubble Boy?
Yeah.
Wait, what year? What year was he born? What year was he born?
71.
All that in a bag of chips, Heather. Okay, before we close, I of course want each of you to give the most, the best way to contact you guys. But I also want to ask, what should we call ourselves? Because I want it to be like blah blah blah.
Erik's Roundtable.
Erik's Roundtable. Okay, we got it. Everybody agreed? Erik, you agree?
But it's also Erik's Roundtable of messages for you.
Okay, well, that's pretty long.
Well, just Erik's Roundtable then.
Okay, and I'll add that in the little subtitle. Okay, go ahead. How they can get in
I
touch
just
with
hope
you.
everybody like watching this understands how incredibly ADD most of us here are anyway.
Oh,
Yeah.
God, I don't know.
Eric.
Whoops, squirrel, something shiny.
Yeah, my kids
These
got
girls
me.
are used to
Yeah,
me.
my kids got me a teacher that said, "I don't know why people say I'm ADD." I mean, oh, there's a squirrel. Squirrel, something like that. So they know. All right, go ahead. We're movers and shakers, but go ahead, everybody.
I'm gonna start. You guys know how to reach me, but I just want to say how incredibly proud I am of my team in this roundtable.
Me too.
You mean the world.
Grateful and honored by you guys. And it's every Thursday, guys. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all go.
Y'all.
A big
Erik's gonna trans channel, and I have no control.
Y'all get yourself a big fat steaming bowl of eventually too. And they're not sponsored though. Don't worry. All right, thank you guys. I love you. Until next time.
See you later.
Love you.
Bye. Love you, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.